Silence, deep breath, the sound of distant thunder. What if I told you that beneath the chaos of our collapsing biosphere, beneath the accelerating entropy that threatens all life on Earth, lies an infinite ocean of power waiting to be awakened? What if the very fabric of space itself holds the key to not just our survival, but our transformation into something beyond what we've ever imagined possible? The extinction probability calculations are devastating. We've crossed 4 of 9 planetary boundaries. Biodiversity collapse accelerates at 1,000 times the natural rate. Mass extinction coefficients indicate we have perhaps 12 years before irreversible ecological cascade failure. The thermodynamic equilibrium of our planet teeters on the edge of chaos. But ancient sages understood something that modern science is only now rediscovering. They knew that what appears empty is actually pregnant with infinite potential. They called it the void. Science calls it the zero-point field. Pause, let that sink in tonight. We dive deeper than we've ever gone before, into the quantum realm where consciousness meets matter, where thought becomes reality, where the survival matrix reveals its most closely guarded secrets. This is not just about energy, this is about the fundamental nature of existence itself, and how understanding it might be our species' last hope for transcendence. Are you ready to become a quantum shaman? The cosmic conspiracy hidden in plain sight. Every cubic centimeter of seemingly empty space contains enough zero-point energy to boil away all the oceans on Earth. Think about that for a moment. The space between your fingers right now holds more power than all the nuclear weapons ever created. Yet we burn fossil fuels like primitive cave dwellers while our planet suffocates. This isn't just theoretical physics. This is the universe's greatest conspiracy hiding in plain sight. Zero-point energy represents the lowest possible energy state that any quantum mechanical system can possess. But here's where it gets mystical. According to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, even at absolute zero temperature, particles continue vibrating, continue dancing, continue singing the songs of creation itself. The universe refuses to be still. Even in death, there is infinite life. What happens when consciousness shifts during ecological collapse? Could magnetic field disruption actually be connecting to spiritual awakening on a planetary scale? The survival matrix indicates something extraordinary. As our biosphere convulses, as magnetic field fluctuations increase, as cosmic radiation penetrates deeper into our atmosphere, human consciousness is beginning to resonate with frequencies it hasn't accessed for millennia. Shift in energy more urgent, but we're running out of time. The Amazon rainforest, Earth's lungs, has already shifted from carbon sink to carbon source. The permafrost contains 1,700 billion tons of carbon, twice what's currently in the atmosphere. Once it melts completely, and the survival calculations show this happening within our lifetime, we face a runaway greenhouse effect that will make our planet uninhabitable. Unless we remember who we really are. Revelation 1. The quantum vacuum is conscious. Here's what they don't want you to know. The zero-point field isn't just energy. It's conscious energy. It's the space of collective consciousness itself. 3. Every thought you think, every intention you set, every moment of awareness ripples through this infinite ocean of potential. Modern quantum field theory treats every single point in space as a quantum harmonic oscillator. But ancient shamans understood this differently. They knew that consciousness and matter are two sides of the same cosmic coin. They practiced quantum entanglement thousands of years before Einstein ever conceived of spooky action at a distance. The Aboriginal Australians spoke of the dreamtime, a realm where all possibilities exist simultaneously. The Vedantic tradition described Akasha, the space element that contains all information that has ever existed. Tibetan Buddhists mapped the clear light mind that underlies all phenomena. They were describing the zero-point field. How might quantum consciousness accelerate planetary healing? Could ancient practices actually reverse entropy acceleration? When you enter deep meditation, when you access what spiritual traditions call emptiness or the void, you're actually harmonizing with zero-point fluctuations. You're becoming a conscious participant in the universe's continuous creation. You're remembering that you are not separate from the field. You are the field, localized as temporary awareness. Pattern interrupts, slower, more hypnotic. But consciousness without action is spiritual bypassing while the world burns. Revelation 2, Dark Energy and the Acceleration of Everything. The discovery that transformed cosmology happened in 1998. Scientists expected the universe's expansion to be slowing down due to gravity. Instead, they found it accelerating one. Something was pushing space itself apart. They called it dark energy, but they might as well have called it the breath of God. Zero-point energy is the best explanation we have for this mysterious force one. The vacuum itself has intrinsic energy that creates a repulsive gravitational effect. Space is not empty. It's full of potential that manifests as expansion, as growth, as evolution itself. But here's the survival correlation that will shock you. The same acceleration principles governing cosmic expansion are now governing ecological collapse. Entropy acceleration isn't just happening to our planet. It's happening throughout the entire universe. We are living through a phase transition of cosmic proportions. What happens when consciousness shifts during this universal acceleration? Could this be exactly the evolutionary pressure needed to birth a new form of human awareness? The extinction probability calculations show something remarkable. Every previous mass extinction event has been followed by evolutionary leaps. Life doesn't just survive, it transcends. It finds new levels of complexity, new forms of beauty, new ways to express consciousness through matter. We are not just facing extinction, we are facing metamorphosis. Energy shifts again, more intense, but metamorphosis requires death of the old form. And we are running out of time to choose which version of humanity dies and which is born. Revelation 3, the Casimir effect and the technology of transcendence. In 1948, physicist Hendrik Casimir predicted something impossible by classical standards. Place two metal plates extremely close together in a vacuum, and they will attract each other due to zero-point energy fluctuations 4. This Casimir effect has been experimentally verified and represents proof that the vacuum is not empty. It's teeming with virtual particles constantly appearing and disappearing. But here's what mainstream science doesn't discuss. This same effect is happening in your body right now. Every cell, every molecule, every atom in your being is continuously interacting with zero-point fluctuations 3. Your DNA is not just a chemical structure. It's a quantum antenna receiving and transmitting information through the zero-point field. Ancient mystics understood this. They knew the body was a temple, a sacred technology for interfacing with infinite consciousness. They developed practices, pranayama, qigong meditation, sacred plant ceremonies, that could tune this biological antenna to receive transmissions from what they called divine consciousness. Modern science calls it quantum coherence. Could this quantum phenomenon actually save our planet? How do parallel dimensions influence Earth's ecological collapse? Recent experiments in quantum energy teleportation show that energy can be extracted from the quantum vacuum and transmitted across space instantaneously. 4. If consciousness can indeed harness zero-point energy through intention, as spiritual traditions have always claimed, then we possess technology more advanced than anything our civilization has ever created. The technology of consciousness itself. Pause. Deep breath. Energy gathering. But most humans have forgotten how to operate this technology. We've been trained to believe we are powerless consumers in a dead universe instead of conscious co-creators in a living cosmos. Revelation 4. Spontaneous emission and miraculous healing. When an electron jumps from a higher energy state to a lower one, it emits a photon. Light itself springs forth from nothingness. Mainstream physics explains this through zero-point energy interactions. 1. The vacuum itself is causing matter to emit light. You are literally made of crystallized light. But here's the mystical implication that changes everything. If consciousness can influence quantum states, then consciousness can influence what light your body emits. This is the scientific basis for what spiritual traditions call miraculous healing. 3. The placebo effect isn't just psychological. It's quantum. When someone truly believes in healing, their consciousness restructures their interaction with the zero-point field. They literally rewrite the energetic blueprint of their physical form. 3. What secrets lie within the quantum field that could heal both personal and planetary trauma simultaneously? Every indigenous tradition has stories of shamans who could heal through touch, through song, through pure intention. These weren't superstitions, these were humans who had learned to consciously interface with zero-point energy. They understood that matter is frozen consciousness, and consciousness can always unfreeze what it created. But as we've lost connection to this technology, our planet has grown sick. The very frequencies of modern civilization, EMF radiation, industrial noise, the electromagnetic signatures of our technology, are interfering with natural quantum coherence. Pattern, interrupt, urgent, whisper. We are literally poisoning the zero-point field with our unconsciousness. Revelation 5. Thermodynamic equilibrium and the choice point. The second law of thermodynamics states that entropy, disorder, always increases in a closed system. But Earth is not a closed system. We receive massive energy input from the sun. We exist in a universe that is fundamentally creative, fundamentally generative, fundamentally alive. The survival matrix reveals that we have reached a critical choice point. We can continue the path of entropy acceleration, burning fossil fuels, destroying ecosystems, treating Earth as a dead resource to be consumed. This path leads to civilizational collapse within decades. Or we can remember that we are not separate from the zero-point field that creates and sustains all existence. We can learn to source our energy from consciousness itself. How might quantum consciousness accelerate planetary healing before the tipping points become irreversible? Ancient civilizations may have already solved this puzzle. The precision of megalithic structures worldwide suggests technologies we don't understand. Pyramids that seem designed to harness Earth energies. Stone circles aligned with cosmic forces. Temple complexes that create specific acoustic frequencies. What if these weren't just monuments? What if they were technologies for accessing zero-point energy through consciousness? Energy building more mystical. What if the great work of our time is remembering how to be human in a way that harmonizes with rather than destroys the living systems that sustain us? Revelation 6. Quantum entanglement and collective awakening. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance, the phenomenon where particles remain connected across any distance, instantly affecting each other regardless of space or time. 1. But quantum entanglement isn't limited to particles. Consciousness itself displays entanglement properties. When indigenous elders speak of all beings as relatives, they're describing quantum entanglement. When mystics experience unity consciousness, they're accessing the entangled nature of reality itself. When a forest begins healing itself after humans change their relationship to it, we're witnessing consciousness-based entanglement in action. The survival calculations reveal something extraordinary. As ecological collapse accelerates, more humans are spontaneously awakening to non-ordinary states of consciousness. NDE experiences are increasing. Psychedelic renaissance is happening globally. Meditation and consciousness practices are spreading exponentially. This is not coincidence, this is quantum entanglement on a planetary scale. What happens when enough humans remember their connection to the zero-point field? Could we reach a critical mass that tips the entire species into a new form of consciousness? The morphic field research suggests yes. When a small percentage of any population learns something new, it suddenly becomes easier for the entire population to learn the same thing. We may be approaching a consciousness tipping point that could literally transform our species overnight. Shift more grounded but mystical. But tipping points work both ways. We could also tip into extinction. Revelation 7. The vacuum state and planetary resurrection. The quantum vacuum state represents perfect balance, all forces in equilibrium, all possibilities simultaneously present and absent one. This is what Buddhists call sunyata, what Kabbalists call Ein Sof, what physicists call the ground state of reality. But here's the revelation that could save our world. Ecological systems also have vacuum states. Pristine wilderness represents the ecological equivalent of quantum vacuum. Maximum diversity, maximum resilience, maximum potential for creative response to changing conditions. Every ecosystem we restore, every forest we rewild, every wetland we protect is healing the planetary vacuum state. We are literally restoring Earth's connection to infinite creative potential. Could ancient practices reverse entropy acceleration if applied at planetary scale? Indigenous wisdom traditions understood that humans are not separate from nature. We are nature's way of becoming conscious of itself. We are Earth's nervous system, Earth's capacity for self-reflection and conscious choice. When we heal our relationship to the natural world, we heal our relationship to the zero-point field itself. When we remember that we are not conquerors but participants in the web of life, we begin functioning as conscious nodes in Earth's awakening. Building to climax, mystical and urgent. This is why you're here, this is why you're watching this transmission. You are part of Earth's immune system, awakening just in time to prevent total collapse. Revelation 8. Virtual particles and the reality creation matrix. Virtual particles continuously emerge from the quantum vacuum and annihilate back into nothingness in timeframes so brief they exist below the threshold of direct measurement 1. Yet these virtual particles create real, measurable effects throughout the universe. Your thoughts work the same way. Every intention you set, every visualization you practice, every moment you choose love over fear sends virtual probability waves through the zero-point field. Most collapse back into nothingness, but some, the ones backed by genuine belief and emotional coherence, manifest as physical reality. This is not metaphysical speculation. This is quantum mechanics applied to consciousness. What secrets lie within the reality creation matrix that could heal both personal trauma and planetary destruction? Ancient mystery schools taught reality creation as sacred science. Students learned to purify their consciousness, align their intentions with natural law, and literally think new realities into existence. These weren't just spiritual practices. they were technologies for conscious evolution. But as we entered the age of materialism, we forgot that consciousness is the fundamental substrate from which matter emerges. We began believing that we are powerless victims of external circumstances instead of powerful creators of experienced reality. Pattern interrupt whispered intensity. This forgetting is killing our planet. Revelation 9. The cosmological constant and Gaia's awakening. The cosmological constant problem represents one of physics' greatest mysteries. Theory predicts that zero-point energy should be 120 orders of magnitude larger than what we observe one. If vacuum energy were as large as calculations suggest, the universe would have blown apart instantly after the Big Bang. Something is regulating zero-point energy. Something is maintaining the delicate balance that allows matter, stars, planets, and life to exist. Consciousness itself may be the missing factor. What if consciousness doesn't just emerge from complex matter? What if consciousness is the field that regulates how much zero-point energy manifests as physical reality? What if awareness itself is the universe's self-regulation mechanism? This would mean that, as planetary consciousness evolves, our collective ability to interface with zero-point energy evolves too. We are not just witnessing ecological collapse. We are participating in Gaia's metamorphosis into a consciously self-regulating planetary being. How do parallel dimensions influence Earth's ecological transformation through consciousness evolution? The survival matrix indicates that Earth is attempting to birth a new form of planetary intelligence. Climate chaos, mass extinction, and social upheaval are not just crises. They are labor pains of a new world being born. Energy peaks mystical climax, and you are both midwife and child in this cosmic birth. The transcendent integration, becoming quantum shamans. Silence, deep breath, resolution, energy. So here we are, quantum shamans, standing at the threshold between worlds. Behind us lies the old story of separation, scarcity, and destruction. Before us lies the possibility of conscious co-creation with the infinite potential of the zero-point field itself. The choice is not just personal, it's planetary. It's cosmic. How might quantum consciousness accelerate planetary healing before we pass the point of no return? Every moment you choose presence over distraction. You strengthen your connection to zero-point awareness. Every time you choose love over fear, you add coherence to the planetary field. Every action you take from deep ecological consciousness helps tip our species toward survival and transcendence rather than collapse and extinction. Could this quantum phenomenon save our planet? The answer depends on how many humans remember their true nature before it's too late. The ancient shamans knew something we're only beginning to understand. Consciousness and cosmos are one seamless field of infinite creative potential. There is no separation between inner and outer, between personal healing and planetary healing, between spiritual awakening and ecological restoration. You are not the universe, you are the universe, localized as temporary awareness. Awakening to your infinite creative power, just as Earth needs conscious co-creators to navigate the great transition ahead. Final energy call to action. What secrets lie within your own consciousness waiting to be unlocked? How will you use your understanding of zero-point energy to serve planetary healing? What reality will you choose to create as a conscious participant in Earth's awakening? The zero-point field is calling you home, not to escape this world, but to remember your power to transform it. The future of our planet depends on your answer. What will you choose, quantum shaman? Fade to silence, let the implications settle into eternity. The transmission is complete, but your work as a conscious agent of planetary transformation has only just begun. Remember, You are the universe discovering itself through human form. Act accordingly.